am Monica Hill of Kung Fu Fighter, and I am back with part 2 with Ag in the City, and he's going to finish the video of gardening tips and give you information of how to contact him if you need his services.
All right, yeah, so like we were saying about the composting, once you mix your brown and your green together, which your green is your food scraps, your brown is your dead leaves, your shredded newspaper, shredded cardboard, anything that's brown and, you know, like paper, you know, like leaves. You would mix that in, just put the top on it, like so, and then you just give it a little rotation so it helps mix everything up. So just spin it like that, and then that gives everything, you know, it gets it mixed up nice and properly, and about 6 months you should have some finished compost.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, so now we're going to go back over to the beds. Now, okay, for instance, this is April, and if your compost will be ready in 6 months, that's going to be like towards the end of the summer.
Yeah, about October, really.
What would you do with it? Would you just plant things then?
No, you would just, I guess you have to wait till, you know, springtime.
Okay.
And then when springtime comes, when your bed is like this, you just mix in your compost, and you get your tools and you just, you know, mix it all in together, and that'll be your fertilizer for your plants, so that you won't have to go buy fertilizer.
Okay.
Because as you see, when we started these beds, the soil level was like right here, but as the years go on, it gets reduced down and down. So every year you have to add more soil,
okay,
you know, to your beds to, you know, fill it up. So if you're making your own compost, depends on how much you make, you might have enough to even, you know, refill your beds, mix everything back in, and now you have, you know, your nutrients to supply your new plants.
Okay. So we've talked about using raised beds, and we talked about the position of making sure you have enough sunlight, and how to use the soil and the compost together, and then also how to make your own compost and the things to put in the compost, and that it will be ready in about 6 months. Okay, so and then you've also told us about in the former video, for those who may just be looking at this one, you might want to go back, but he talked about which vegetables are spring vegetables and which ones are summer vegetables, and when to plant those. Okay, and so I guess he's going to provide his information and give us a little bit more about the information about the tools to use for gardening.
So most of the tools you're going to need for a raised bed, you may need a shovel just to scoop in your compost and things like that if you have a lot. Okay,
show us the tip of that, what that looks like.
No, this is a hoe.
A hoe, okay.
Yeah, so what you use this for is stuff like to weed. You just pull your weeds out like that.
Okay.
You see how nice and soft your garden soil is.
And how often do you need to weed?
As often as you want to. It just depends on how meticulous you want to maintain your garden.
Okay.
But when you have weeds in your garden like this, what this is doing is competing against your natural, you know, the plants you put in there.
Okay.
So you don't want to be feeding unwanted guests, right? So you want to get the weeds out. And then, you know, you put your compost in, and you can just kind of mix it up like this. So you see how nice and dark that is?
Yeah.
That's how you want it to look. And another tool you would need is a hard rake. I don't know, it's the metal rake, not the flimsy fan rake that you use to rake up leaves, but you want to get a hard rake.
Okay.
And, you know, what you do, like once everything gets kind of unearthed like this and all lumpy and stuff like that from you just weeding, mix all that up, let's say. And then you would get a hard rake, pretty much, and you would just use that to smooth it on down so it's level. So you can use the back of the hoe kind of like this. And you just want to even everything out so you have a nice level surface, so all the seeds will be planted at the same depth, things like that.
Okay.
So,
and would you need to cover once you put seeds in the soil, would you need to cover it because of the birds or anything like that? What would you use to do that?
Yeah, you would. I mean, when you put the seeds down and you water, they're going to get covered. So, you know, you can sprinkle a little bit of the dirt or the soil over the seed to cover it up. but that's because you want the seed to be entirely surrounded by wet soil so that it germinates.
Okay.
And then once you're doing that, these are also some optional tools: hand trowel and a hand rake, and you just use this to dig in there to make your holes. You know, when you're because you can start off with seeds, or you start off with transplants, which are plants that are already grown for like a month.
Okay.
And you can buy those, so you don't have to start from seeds, because seeds take a long time. They may not all germinate. So you might have a row where these seeds germinate, but these don't. So you can also buy transplants. You just use this to, you know, dig your hole, put your, you know, plant down, and then you can just use this to kind of, you know, make everything nice and neat.
Okay.
So if you have kids, they like to use these. So that's pretty much what you need.
And what's that called in your hand?
This is a hand. I know it's called a hand trowel.
Okay.
I think it's like a hand rake.
Okay.
I don't know the exact term for this one. But
Well, thank you for sharing your information, all that information with us today. I know your time is running short, but give us your information, because I know a lot of people will probably want to contact you about gardening tips and the type of services that you offer.
Okay, well, my Facebook page is called Ag in the City. That's AGINTHECITY, and that's also my Instagram. And you can contact me on that Facebook page through direct messenger. You can also email me at aginthecitylou, which is LOW, at gmail.com.
Okay.
Yep.
And what type of services do you provide if anyone? I know you told me off camera that you make the raised beds if somebody needs those made. Right.
So if you need raised beds made, we can make the raised beds for you. I made all these.
About how much would one this size cost?
This would be like just for the bed without any soil or anything, it'll be $150.
Okay, about $150. Okay.
Yep. So, and we can make custom sizes for you. If you need any kind of gardening consultation, like, we can come out and look at your site. We can conduct a soil test for you.
Okay, now let's walk down there really quick. I just want to show this other size in this video. We showed this one in the first video, and just to give a price about approximately how much one of this size would cost.
Yeah, that one would be $30.
About $30. Okay, very good.
Something about that size. It'll be a little bit higher than that.
Okay.
I didn't make that big.
Okay.
Yep. So we do that. If you need someone to come out to your school or your community organization, your church, or anything like that, to give a talk or give a lecture on different aspects of gardening, we can do that. We can. We do hydroponic setups as well. Okay. So, yeah, there's various things we can offer. So. Okay. And this last, before you go, tell us the advantages of having a garden versus not having one, for those who are not into gardening yet. The advantages are, well, one, it's healthier. You're providing yourself with healthy, fresh food. So the food in the store is probably at least 2 weeks old, when they put it in the store. So you're getting food that's, that's fresh, straight out the garden, the maximum amount of nutrients. You get out in the sun, put your hands in the soil, which has been proven scientifically to be healthy for you. You're getting your vitamin D and things like that, fresh air. It's also, there's beautification in it to make sure your yard look nice, things like that. So you're adding aesthetic value to your house, to your community. If you join something like a community garden, you get to fellowship with your neighbors, get to learn about what they're growing. And many people use community gardens as a space of activism, where a community can get together and actually discuss other things in their community, besides gardening. But use gardening as the centerpiece, to kind of bring everybody together. So there's a lot of advantages to
Very good. And last but not least, I hope I'm getting this spoken here. There's nothing like being broke or not having any money and being able to go out into your own yard and having something to eat, especially watermelon sometimes. Right.
So you get a pack of watermelon seeds for $2, it'll probably be about 150 seeds. Okay. And you can turn that $2 into $5 a watermelon. Okay. So our time is just about up. I just want to say thank you, Mr. Ag. Yep. In the City, and thank you all for watching this video. Please reach out to him if you have any needs as far as gardening, and thank you for watching. Again, this is Monica Hill of Kung Fu Fighter, and as I promised, I brought you Ag in the City this month for gardening tips
and look forward to more